Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Season 2 of Royal Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generated game. When we left off in the previous episode, we had some healed bones, near drowning, and mourning, because the moon before we lost one of our very shy, not wanting to be in the spotlight, beautiful River Whistle, one of our cats, who went out on a patrol on his own, came across a large dog, and then, accepting his dire fate, knowing that this would only lead to his death, basically guide the dog in a chase away from the forest and the grotto so the rest of his clanmates could stay safe. So yeah, there were a few things happening. But things this time around, we are hoping are going to be looking up for the clan. Well, I say hoping because once more, I think the world has thrown a spanner in the works. Let's take a look at the clan, guys. So, it is the final turn of Leaffall. We are at Moon 116. Things are going well in our Leader's Den with all of our alliances, but Queen Rainstar is in mourning because of the recent death. So, we have Hemlock, her right hand, who is actually handling affairs of the clan. And let's take a look. So Flare Freckle was seen touching noses with a kitty pet. Well, that's what it says. But actually, Flare Freckle was seen touching noses with a member of Servant Clan. Scandalous. But this is Dancing, who we already are acquainted with. He lives in the forest outside the grotto, as a part of, our Servant Clan cats. But I'm assuming he's one of the cats who kind of flitters back and forth between his home in the Two Legs Nest and, being in the forest. And then Flare Freckle has gotten Whitecough, which is, of course, dangerous. And it feels as though once more, I don't know what it is about Flare Freckle, but the world is either throwing all sorts of miserable things at Flare Freckle to deal with, or her family members. I mean, she has had a lot of deaths recently. Her nephew almost drowned in a river in the last episode, and now she has Whitecough. So, whatever powers kind of run, this game, feel as though Flare Freckle is our main character, pretty much. And she has some trials and tribulations to get through. And then Foxclaw was seen chasing a kitty pet off of the territory. The clan has encountered Marshmallow. So this is actually a new member of Servant Clan who is going to, I think, operate very similarly to Dancing. But let's take a look at this new member of Servant Clan. Where are they? Marshmallow! So here we go. This is Marshmallow, who looks a lot like Queen Rainstar, except he's a male. Adult with sunlit ice eyes, a marbled pelt, he's wise, an incredible runner, and a good kid sitter. So very, very fascinating that he looks so much like Queen Rainstar. You can't tell right now because Rainstar is all curled up, but when she's, when she's feeling good, doesn't look at that. Doesn't he look so much like Rainstar? I think he does. Okay, well, let's go ahead and take a look at the Medicine Cat Den. So yeah, Flare Freckle has Whitecough, Rainstar is grief-stricken, Ghostfeather has a sprain, we don't have any minor things to deal with. Ghostfeather was given Dandelion as treatment for sprain, and then Queen Rainstar was given Juniper as treatment for grief-stricken. Icicle Speck could not find any herbs this moon. Let's go ahead and check out relationships now. Icicle Speck and Cinnamon Tail talk about what they see in the clouds. Icicle Speck thinks Foxclaw is a good singer. Fierce Tooth does something endearing, which surprises Shining Stripe. Shining Stripe asks Scorchpaw to show off his skills. Okay, this is really good, I think. One, that Fierce Tooth is spending some time with her father. That makes me happy, because I feel like Shining Stripe has been quite, hands-off with his daughter, but you know what? At this stage in her life, they might bond a little bit more because they're both doing mentoring at the same time. There might be more for them to, talk about when they're doing that, as opposed to, who knows, maybe familial life. And then I like that Scorchpaw is interacting well with his mentor, Shining Stripe, and then Shining Stripe is actually, taking some initiative to try and, see where Scorchpaw is at. And I'm pretty sure Scorchpaw was like more like he was in the lead in the last episode in terms of apprentice rankings. So he's got something for Shining Stripe to work on. Flurfreckle is hurt by one of Inkfeather's pranks, but Inkfeather doesn't seem to believe her. While Flurfreckle and Shining Stripe, so brother and sister, are talking, Flurfreckle gets the feeling that she can trust Shining Stripe and confesses that she likes Foxclaw. Okay, that's a very overt declaration. I think Flurfreckle has a few cats that she likes, maybe 2 or 3, but the fact that she's telling her brother that she likes Foxclaw, there's something there for us to like keep an eye on. However, right now Foxclaw is like mated to her niece, literally Shining Stripe's daughter. So I don't know. I can see why it's neutral. Like I don't know how Shining Stripe would take that. He's not a meddling sort of parent, but his sister's telling him that she likes his daughter's mate. So I don't know how that would go down. Flurfreckle thinks clanmates talk more highly of Foxclaw than her, and then she's being, envious of Foxclaw? Maybe because Shining Stripe was mentioning the thing that I said, like exactly the link between Foxclaw and Fierce Tooth. There we go. Okay, Bearpelt is the only cat who can make Foxclaw laugh. Well, it looks like Bearpelt has renewed his efforts and affections for Foxclaw, and it is like so odd. It is so odd to think about, but literally Foxclaw was also the mate of Fierce Tooth's uncle not too long ago, you know? Bearpelt is impressed by Ghostfeather helping others today. Okay, I feel like Bearpelt hasn't given Ghostfeather a whole lot of attention for a while, so I guess it's interesting that he is renewing his efforts with him. Inkfeather apologizes to Garlic Glow, but Garlic Glow doesn't know why. Inkfeather, Cinnamon Tail, and Shining Stripe took a sunbath and had a lot of small talk. Inkfeather and Lotus Paw try to say tongue twisters. Yeah, they would have... I can kind of see these two maybe being unexpected kind of friends, because Lotus Paw almost drowned in the river, trying to get, revenge for the death that we had recently for River Whistle, and Inkfeather was the one who kind of yanked him out. So I can see how he would start maybe hanging out with her a bit more. Foxclaw and Fierce Tooth giggle over something silly, so these two are interacting with each other, which is very nice to see. Foxclaw and Lotus Paw notice a cloud shaped like a bird. Ghostfeather wishes that a clanmate liked him as much as they like Cinnamon Tail. Ghostfeather can't stand hearing about how helpful Scorchpaw is. Ghostfeather, I don't know what it is about you not liking, like, these youngsters. You don't, like, something about Ghostfeather and apprentices he can't stand. He doesn't like Scorchpaw. Before Scorchpaw, he didn't like Fierce Tooth. Freezefur can't believe how talented Ghostfeather is. Freezefur admires how brave Fierce Tooth is. Garlic Glow feels bad she caused a problem for Ghostfeather. When they return from a patrol, Garlic Glow and Freezefur seem more at peace with each other than usual. Queen Rainstar and Lionpaw have a race. Lionpaw wins. Queen Rainstar and Scorchpaw talk about what they see in the clouds. Cinnamon Tail finds peace in Garlic Glow's company, where it can't be found anywhere else. Hemlock tells a joke that only Scorchpaw can understand. Hemlock and Foxclaw chase off a predator on a patrol together. Fierce Tooth bickered about something trivial with Flurfreckle. Let's see, Lionpaw is whispering quietly with Foxclaw. Foxclaw convinces Lotus Paw to help him pull a prank on a clanmate. Fierce Tooth is interrupted by Scorchpaw to say something frivolous, and Scorchpaw, Hemlock, and Bearpelt had a nice talk while eating. And the fact that Hemlock and Foxclaw chased off a predator together, I wonder if they came across... like, heavens forbid. But imagine if they came across another dog, and they managed to chase it off this time around with the two of them. I don't know, guys. I'm a little bit worried. But okay, that's all we have for the events. Let's wrap up over here and move on to the cat list. Okay, it is time for us to take a look at the cat list. So a quick reminder on our loyalties, and I actually have something to report this time in terms of relationships. So, the first cat that I noticed a change with is Bear Pelt, who now has max love with Foxclaw, even though he is mated to Hemlock. And the funny thing is that even though he and Hemlock have maintained their relationship ever since they got together and had the litter of kittens, he has been, like, his feelings for her have been stuck at, like, 9.5 bars for so long, for so many moons. They need all 10 bars in order for me to say that they're soulmates, and it has to be mutual as well. But no, not the case. I don't think Hemlock is anywhere near in love with Bear Pelts. I think she's got, like, 8.5 or something like that. But yeah, neither of them have, like, tipped over into soulmates, even though they're so close and their relationship has actually been very, very easy. On the other hand, Bear Pelt, who had, like, such a relationship loss with Foxclaw, he is now at max love with Foxclaw. So, I don't know what it is, but maybe the fact that his flippin' niece is mated to Foxclaw has gotten his, like, competitive spirit going. You know, his niece that is mated to Foxclaw and his niece that is mentoring one of his sons. Yeah, it's kind of complicated, and I honestly feel like Bear Pelt should just take a step back and let it be. Otherwise, things could get very entangled. I mean, they are currently, but that might have an impact on your, child's education. I don't know. So there is that with Bear Pelt. However, he is shameless, so I suppose he doesn't particularly care about what direction his child's education is going to take. But yeah, Bear Pelt, he's feeling competitive, and he used to be really obsessed with Ghostfeather. I mean, he's still in love with Ghostfeather, but something about Foxclaw as he's gotten older has, I think, appealed to him more and more. I think when Bear Pelt was a bit younger, he found the sameness of him and Ghostfeather to be particularly riveting or, enthralling, because it was almost like falling in love with himself. But as he's getting older, I think that the difference of Foxclaw to Bear Pelt is kind of really, invigorating to him. So whatever the case, Bear Pelt, guys, is head over heels in love with Foxclaw. The next cat that I noticed a change with, and the final cat, was Foxclaw himself. So Foxclaw has had a romance gain with Bear Pelt, and all I can say in regards to this is that Foxclaw, Bear Pelt, there's something about him that just reels Foxclaw in. And Foxclaw is never one to, I think, chase Bear Pelt, but it's almost as though Bear Pelt kind of eases his way around Foxclaw and, just slings a paw over him and pulls him in for a cuddle, and Foxclaw suddenly finds himself in a very, very cozy place, and he doesn't particularly mind that. Yeah, I think he likes being pursued by Bear Pelt and the comforts that brings without him putting too much effort into it. But then also, there is a different sort of aspect that he has with Fierce Tooth, which he also enjoys, kind of being the cat in the lead. And not kind of in a overt, forceful way, but it's like he and Fierce Tooth are in this little dance where he's kind of showing her the steps to take and she's taking them. So there's that. I'm a little bit worried that Bear Pelt is going to get in the way, because Foxclaw, I don't know if he was in love with Bear Pelt beforehand. He might have been. Let me just quickly go through my notes to see. No, yeah, he had romance. I'm pretty sure he had romance with Bear Pelt from beforehand. But, Bear Pelt is being very, very in his face. And I think the interaction they had this moon was that Bear Pelt felt Foxclaw is the only one that can make him laugh. And I mean, Hemlock, she's lonesome, so she doesn't have as vivacious of a personality. She's not as, playful as Foxclaw. And then, Ghostfeather, yes, is adventurous, but I think Foxclaw, with his sneaky self, maybe conversation with Foxclaw is, it's different. It's exciting. It's fun. But there we go. That's kind of the very brief, but not brief, complicated connection the cats have had with some of the romance gains. But okay, let's dive onto Inkfeather and see if we can have a good matchmaking session between, yet again, Foxclaw, who I feel like is kind of the star of this particular episode, and Fierce Tooth. Look at that! Look at that! So, it seems as though Fierce Tooth has finally become friends with Foxclaw, which is very, very good, but romance, comfort, platonic like, respect, trust has increased, dislike and jealousy has decreased, which is absolutely excellent, makes me super duper happy. But yeah, Foxclaw again, he likes being with Bearpelt, but I think he also, when he's with Bearpelt, sees how different Fierce Tooth is, and he likes that as well. Because he's a different version of himself with Fierce Tooth. And then Fierce Tooth, you know, she's kind of following. She's just following along with Foxclaw. And it's the process, I think, is a lot more comfortable than she anticipated. Okay, I think she felt as though she would be under a lot of pressure and things would be too fast, too soon after Quillrunner's death, but Foxclaw has kind of set a good pace with her, and it's helping her ease into this whole thing. Okay, let's see what everyone's doing for the day. Queen Rainstar is asking Ghostfeather an important question. Hemlock makes sure no area of the territory is overhunted. Icicle Speck is feeling restless. Inkfeather is waiting to watch the sunrise. Shining Stripe is having a nice conversation with the cats guarding camp. Flarefreckle is batting at a clanmate's tail. Bearpelt thought he saw a cat, but turns out it's a two-leg object that just looks like one. Foxclaw worries about the lack of prey Leafbear will bring. Ghostfeather wonders if Garlic Glow misses her warrior days. Freezefur doesn't want to go on dawn patrol. Cinnamon Tail almost got lost near some two-leg nests. Fierce Tooth took her own insecurities out on a friend the other day and feels awfully guilty. Oh, Fierce Tooth. Scorchpaw wonders if Bearpelt was a good apprentice. Yeah, he's curious about his father now. Especially because I think his uncle keeps telling him that he's so talented. And actually, his father was a great apprentice because his father is the Bear Prince. So, you know. Linepaw overslept and missed the dawn patrol. Lotuspaw drew blood during his battle training. Garlic Glow is crushing leaves under her paws, so she's helping out with Icicle Speck, who is her mate at the Medicine Cat Den. That is very sweet of her. And let's check up on rankings. Ooh. Lionpaw is ahead with 23 experience. Lotuspaw is 16 and Scorchpaw is 15. Oh my goodness. Lionpaw took off and left his brothers in the dust. Good on you, Fierce Tooth. I should not have underestimated you, Fierce Tooth. I mean, she's insecure, but she can be fierce when she needs to be. I mean, her parents named her that because they had high hopes for her survival in a clan that has very low survival rate for females, near zero pretty much. I think Fierce Tooth is the only female, clan-born female, aside from Flarefreckle, to, you know, have survived to this age. I actually don't. There might have been other females who survived to this age. Actually, we can investigate right now. Let's take a look. In terms of the females that have been born in the clan, Firepaw, she made it to 12 moons before she died. Pale Petal made it to 13 moons before. Wait, this was a male. Sorry. Let's see. Shadeflag was a boy. What else do we have? Hold on a second. We have no females born in the clan, do we? I mean, that's the whole reason why we had that, we had a population problem. Yeah, I mean, these young females, they passed away quite early. But in terms of, our adults or near adults, Firepaw made it to 12 moons. Was she the only? Oh my goodness. She made it to 12 moons. But then she passed away. I think she passed away. She was killed on the moon she was supposed to graduate. So she's unfortunately not considered a warrior. But oh my goodness, guys. I didn't realize our situation was this dire. But apparently, Fierce Tooth is the only female to have even made it to 19 moons. Because she is like the only one of 3 females that have been born in the clan, actually. If you think about it. It's literally, it's literally Firepaw and Houndpaw. Firepaw, Houndpaw, whoa, and Fierce Tooth. Fierce Tooth is like the 4th female to be born in the clan? Because Flare Freckle was the first. She was the first female to be born in the clan. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Holy cow! I didn't even... This is I'm mind blown, guys. Just give me a second. My mind is like blown. Flare Freckle has survived to literally 110 moons. She is 10 moons away from becoming a senior. She and her brothers. I really hope they make it. That would be a fulfilling life. Just 10 more moons. But oh my goodness. Fierce Tooth, at the very, very young age of 19 moons, is the 2nd female to ever make it to that age. So yeah, she's very, very special, guys. Very, very special. I should not have underestimated her. Okay. So yeah, Lionpaw. And then it seems as though Lotus Paw is maintaining his position more or less, kind of, you know, in the middle. I'm kind of surprised that Scorchpaw has like fallen behind in his training, but he's oblivious. And I mean, Shining Stripe was getting Scorchpaw to show him his skills and everything, so I don't know how Scorchpaw managed to fall behind. And I feel like he's been kind of showing interest in, you know, how his father was and the title of prince and all of that. But we'll see how this goes. I mean, it could fluctuate even more from here on. And I suppose, I don't know how much influence the patrols are going to have at this point because of the numbers we have going out. But we'll see. But okay, that is all we have for the cat list. Let's wrap up and move on to patrols. Okay, we're continuing with our patrols. We currently have 159.9 prey. We need 40 prey, so we don't have to worry about food. We're going to send out Icicle Speck, our royal physician, first off. Icicle Speck is on a mission to find lungwort now that leaf bear is on the horizon. As the only reliable cure for yellow cough, he's determined that royal clans stock up on it. Proceed. It takes them all day, but finally Icicle Speck spots the speckled leaves he's been looking for, so crucial to harvest before the plant dies back in leaf bear. For just a moment he feels the weight of his responsibilities lift, the strength of that relief catching him off guard. So lungwort was gathered, which is quite nice. And then we're going to have a patrol of 6 and a patrol of 4. So the patrols that their mentors send them on are going to possibly play a crucial role in whether one of the younger brothers can catch up with Lionpaw. So let's have a look. Okay, so no one's gonna get an advantage over the other at this point. If one of the apprentices were sent to the smaller patrols, they might have had an advantage, but not in this case. So Fierce Tooth is going to stick very close to Lionpaw. She thinks that he's doing very, very well, and they don't really need to, you know, change up the tactics at this point. Lotus Paw is sticking very close to Bear Pelt, and it seems as though Shining Stripe's strategy yet again is to send Scorchpaw with Bear Pelt. I don't think like Shining Stripe has had a single patrol of actually being with Scorchpaw. So Bear Pelt once more is going to have to handle 2 of his sons, so he's going to supervise their training. And then we have Cinnamon Tail, so let's see what they get up to. Ooh, the patrol comes across a thunder path running through the forest. Proceed. Fierce Tooth is patient enough to wait until the thunder path is completely clear, then trot across with the patrol to hunt on the other side. A large amount of prey is brought to camp, look at that. Fierce Tooth, she's really stepping up. I'm really proud of her. I mean, I was saying that, you know, Foxclaw is the star of the episode, which, to be honest, he is, but also I feel like his mate Fierce Tooth is kind of in her own way the star of the second half of the episode, because unexpectedly she's like making her mark on the world. And then we have, oh my goodness, we have 217.5 prey. Whoa. But we're gonna send out Freeze Fur, Foxclaw, Shining Stripe, and Hemlock, so let's see what they get up to. Freeze Fur finds an abandoned kit whose parents are nowhere to be found. Proceed. The kit is rushed back to camp but grows weak and dies a few days later. Oh no. Your clan's reputation towards outsiders has remained neutral. And I think, was it Freezefur who found this kit? Yeah, that would be very, very unsettling, I think. Very unsettling. But okay, guys. With that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.